One investor just placed a bet worth talking about. He's the same guy who bet against the housing market before 2008 and walked away with a fortune while everyone else called him crazy. Right now, he's staked fresh money on a $380 billion tech darling being worth almost nothing, and he's willing to wait until 2027 to be proven right. At the exact same time, he's quietly loading up on a payments company most people wrote off as dead. So who's actually right here? Him or the crowd piling into the hot names? Today, Ticker Hawk is going stock by stock, naming names, giving you a real buy or avoid on each one, and showing you the numbers behind it, not just vibes. If this kind of breakdown is useful to you, hit subscribe now so you catch these before the stock moves, because some of these calls are already playing out fast. Let's start with the one everyone's fighting about online, Applied Materials, ticker AMAT. This is the company that builds the machines that build the chips. So when AI mania took off, this stock rode the wave straight up, more than doubling in the last year alone. The bear case says it ran too far too fast, and honestly, the numbers back that up more than people want to admit. Revenue has only grown about 3% a year over the last 3 years, yet the stock trades at roughly 50 times earnings and 53 times free cash flow. That's a premium built for a company growing 20 to 30% a year, not 3%. When Ticker Hawk runs this through a 10-year value model using conservative but fair assumptions, a reasonable price lands somewhere between $110 and $240 a share. Call it $165. In the middle, the stock is sitting north of 500. That's not a small gap. That's a company priced for perfection in an industry nobody can predict 5 years out. Ticker Hawk's call, avoid this one at current levels. Great business, terrible entry point. Wait for a real pullback before you even think about it. Now here's a name that might surprise you because it's not even a tech stock. It's Caterpillar, ticker CAT, the big yellow construction and mining equipment maker. The story pumping this stock is that every new AI data center needs concrete, steel, and heavy machinery to get built. So Caterpillar becomes an accidental AI play. Cute story, but look at the math. Analysts are penciling in profits, basically doubling over the next 4 years. An 18% annual growth rate for a 100-year-old industrial company. That's an aggressive assumption for a business tied to construction cycles and global commodity demand. Running Caterpillar through a fair value model with realistic single-digit revenue growth puts the stock somewhere between $200 and $600, roughly $360 in the middle. And that's before you account for a dividend that eats up over $2 billion a year in free cash flow. The stock trades around 850. Even the optimistic case doesn't get you there. Ticker Hawk's verdict, avoid. This is a story stock riding someone else's boom, not a business whose own numbers justify the price. Quick pause here, because the next one is where this whole video flips, and it's the one Ticker Hawk would actually put real money into before touching anything mentioned so far. Drop in the comments which side you're on so far. The expensive AI names or the boring cheap stuff, because that split is exactly the theme of this entire video. PayPal, ticker PYPL, is the clearest example of a good business the market simply stopped caring about. The stock fell from over $300 to the high 30s, and for a while nobody wanted to touch it. But look underneath the hood. It's generating over $6 billion in free cash flow a year. It's trading at roughly 8 times that free cash flow, and it's posting returns on capital in the low teens with steady profit margins around 14%. And 8 times free cash flow, multiple on a profitable payments company. Processing billions of transactions is the kind of number you almost never see outside of a full-blown panic. Running conservative growth assumptions, mid-single-digit revenue growth, and modest margin improvement, a fair value model puts this stock between $75 and $180 with a reasonable middle estimate well above $100. It's trading near $60. There have even been acquisition rumors floating around with an offer reportedly around $61 a share. And honestly, if that's the real number, it undersells the business. Ticker Hawk's call, this is a buy, boring company, unloved stock, real cash flow, and a valuation gap you don't often get handed on a silver platter. Sticking with the industrial theme for a second, Tesla, ticker TSLA, has also come under serious pressure lately, down roughly 20% since the bearish bets against it started stacking up. Here's the thing about Tesla that a lot of people won't say out loud. This has never traded like a car company, and it's not going to start now. It trades on a story about robotaxis, humanoid robots, and energy storage that may or may not show up in the numbers on the timeline the stock price assumes. When a stock's valuation depends that heavily on things that haven't happened yet, the downside risk when sentiment shifts is brutal, and we just watched that play out. Ticker Hawk isn't calling this one a screaming buy at these levels, and it's not a screaming avoid either. It's a stock where you need to separate the mission from the math. If you own it for the story, know that you're paying for hope, not current earnings. For now, call it a stay away unless it falls a lot further, because the multiple still assumes a level of future execution that hasn't been proven. Let's talk about Micron, ticker MU, and the broader chip fund SOXX, because both of these got hit hard once the bearish bets against the semiconductor trade started landing. SOXX dropped about 18% total and around 21% in a single month at one stretch, which tells you how crowded and fragile that trade had become. Micron specifically fell about 18% from the day the bearish position was disclosed. The lesson here isn't that chips are dead, memory and AI infrastructure demand is real. It's that an entire sector got priced as if the good times would never slow down. And any wobble in AI capital spending was always going to hit these names hardest because there was zero room for disappointment baked into the price. Tickerhawk's take: avoid chasing the sector broadly right now. Individual chip names can still work, but you want to wait for valuations that price in some bad news, not just endless good news. Here's a name most people haven't even heard of yet: Nebius, a newer AI infrastructure company that also got caught in the same wave of bearish bets, falling around 13% in a matter of days once the position became public. New, unprofitable, or barely profitable AI infrastructure names are some of the most dangerous places to be, right? Now, because they combine sky-high expectations with thin track records. When sentiment turns on a stock like this, there's no earnings history or dividend or brand loyalty to soften the fall. Tickerhawk's call: avoid, or at minimum, size any position here extremely small. This is speculation dressed up as investing, and that's fine if you know that going in. Just don't confuse it with a core holding. Now, comment below with this one, because it's a real debate. NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, is the one name in this whole AI trade that actually went the other way and moved up, even while bearish bets piled onto everything around it. That matters. It tells you the market is still drawing a real distinction between the company that makes the essential picks and shovels of this boom and everyone else riding its coattails. NVIDIA's earnings have kept growing into a valuation that looked stretched a year ago and doesn't look nearly as stretched today relative to actual profit growth. Tickerhawk isn't calling this cheap. It's still priced for continued dominance, but unlike Applied Materials or Caterpillar, the growth numbers here have actually shown up to justify a chunk of the premium. Call this one a hold if you already own it, and a buy only on real weakness, not a chase at these prices. JD.com, ticker JD, is another one worth flagging, up around 21% off a recent low point after getting scooped up while everyone was chasing AI names instead. Chinese tech stocks have been sitting in the penalty box for years now over regulatory fears and economic worries about China's growth, and that fear has pushed valuations on some genuinely profitable businesses down to levels you'd expect from companies in serious trouble, not market leaders. JD.com has real logistics infrastructure, real revenue, and it's been trading at a fraction of what US peers with similar scale command. Tickerhawk's call: cautious buy. The regulatory risk is real, and it's not going away, so keep the position sized sensibly, but the valuation gap versus the actual business quality is hard to ignore. Let's get to the big one people keep asking about: Palantir, ticker PLTR. This is where the story gets aggressive because there's now a bearish bet against this stock stretched all the way out to 2027, with the person behind it reportedly pegging the company's real worth at somewhere near a single dollar a share against a stock trading well into the hundreds. That's an extreme call. Here's Tickerhawk's honest read. Palantir is a real company with real government and enterprise contracts. It's not vaporware, but the stock trades at a price to sales multiple that assumes flawless execution for the next decade straight, in a business that still depends heavily on a relatively small number of large contracts. You don't need the bear case to be exactly right for this to be a bad entry point today. You just need growth to merely slow down instead of accelerate forever. And the stock has a long way to fall from a valuation like this. Tickerhawk's call: avoid at current prices. This isn't a bet the business fails. It's a bet that perfection is priced in, and perfection never lasts. A quick word on Oracle, ticker ORCL, and Microsoft, ticker MSFT, because both show up in this same story in different ways. A position against Oracle was closed out for a solid gain, and then reopened again recently, sitting slightly underwater for now, while the Microsoft stake was sold off entirely after a big run-up. Neither of these are simple avoid or buy calls the way the others are. They're really a reminder that even mega-cap software names aren't immune to being repriced when growth expectations get too far ahead of reality. Tickerhawk would rather own Microsoft on a real pullback than chase it after a huge run. And Oracle's valuation has gotten rich enough on the back of AI cloud hype that a healthy dose of skepticism is warranted here too. Rounding out the buy side, keep an eye on names like Lululemon, ticker Lulu, Fiserv, ticker FAS, Mercado Libre, ticker Melli, and Tencent, which trades in the US as TCEHY. All four got scooped up during this same stretch specifically because they were unloved, out of favor, or overshadowed by flashier AI headlines. Lululemon has been hammered on fears that its best growth days are behind it, but it's still a hugely profitable brand, trading at a fraction of its old multiple. Fiserv and Mercado Libre both sit in the boring but essential category, payments infrastructure and Latin American e-commerce, both areas with real long-term demand, that the market has been ignoring in favor of chasing chips. Tencent has faced the same China discount as JD.com, despite owning some of the most dominant gaming and social platforms on the planet. Ticker Hawk likes all four as buys on weakness, not because they're exciting, but because unexciting and cheap is exactly where the best long-term setups tend to hide. Not every bet in this basket has worked, though. A position in the sports betting and gambling company Flutter, ticker Flut, has actually gone the wrong way and sits underwater right now, which is a good reminder that even a sound, cheap, and unloved strategy doesn't win on every single name. That's not a reason to panic. That's just how a real portfolio works. Two more names belong in this same unloved basket before we wrap up. Adobe, ticker ADBE, and Zoetis, ticker ZTS. Adobe has been stuck in the mud for over 2 years now on fears that AI tools will eventually eat its entire business from the inside out, and that fear has crushed the stock's multiple down to levels this company hasn't traded at in a long time, despite still owning the industry standard software that millions of creative professionals use every single day. Tickerhawk's take is simple. The AI disruption story is a real risk worth watching closely, but it's already priced in aggressively, maybe too aggressively, which is exactly the kind of gap worth buying into in small pieces rather than all at once. Zoetis, the animal health company, doesn't get talked about much because pet medicine just isn't a flashy topic, but it's a steady, high-margin business with pricing power, and almost no correlation to whatever is happening with AI chips or interest rates that week. Both get a cautious buy from Tickerhawk, not because they're exciting, but because the market has priced in far more pessimism than the actual businesses deserve. One more pattern worth flagging before we move on, because it tells you a lot about how this whole strategy actually works in practice. Alongside PayPal, there were also purchases in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the two mortgage giants that have been tangled up in government conservatorship drama for over a decade, plus an early stake in the sports betting name DraftKings that got sold off entirely once it had run up enough to lock in the win. That's the playbook in miniature. Buy deep uncertainty when the price already reflects the worst case, and don't fall in love with a position once the market finally agrees with you and pays you for being early. Most retail investors do the exact opposite. They chase a stock after it's already moved, and then hold on to losers out of stubborn pride. Flip that habit around. And you're most of the way to thinking like the money that actually wins over a full market cycle. So here's the bigger picture pulling all of this together. Over the last 6 weeks, the pattern across every single one of these moves has been the same. Bet against the stocks everyone loves and can't stop buying, and bet on the stocks everyone has given up on and stopped watching. And when you actually check the results instead of just reading comment sections calling this guy washed up, most of the bearish bets against the hottest AI and chip names have paid off hard, some down 20% or more in weeks, while several of the unloved buys like PayPal and JD.com have ripped 20 to 30% higher in the same window. Not every single call worked. Nvidia moved against the bearish thesis, and Flutter is underwater. And that's exactly the point Tickerhawk wants you to sit with. Nobody bats 1,000, not this investor, not any analyst, not anybody you'll ever watch on this platform. What actually works over time isn't being right every time. It's having a repeatable process for telling the difference between a business that's genuinely worth the price you're paying and one that's just riding a crowded, exciting story with no room left for anything to go wrong. Drop in the comments which one of these you're watching closest right now, PayPal, Palantir, or Applied Materials, because the next few weeks are going to separate the real theses from the hype fast, and Tickerhawk will be tracking every one of these positions as the numbers come in. If this breakdown helped you see one of your own holdings differently, share it with somebody who's been chasing the same AI names everyone else is piling into, it might save them a bad entry. And if you want the next update on which of these calls is playing out and which ones are falling apart, make sure you're subscribed, because this list is going to look very different a month from now. And Tickerhawk will be right here breaking down exactly what changed and why it matters for your money.